I'm going to talk about different types of listening. There are different types of listening because all the time, if you are involved in listening all the time, the type is not the same and similar. For instance, you are listening to some lecture, that's a different type, and your attention is of a different type because you are paying some, I suppose, to some lecture we pay more attention because of the point of view of assessment and of marks and grades. We are taking notes. Suppose you are listening to some music, तो वहाँ आपकी attention different तरह की है. So I am going to talk about and I'm going to mention these different types of listening. Whole person listening. Whole person listening is when you understanding the speaker, his words, thought, motive, etc. Meaning everything आपके ज़हन में है and you are paying attention to each and everything, what the person is saying, what the words he or she is using, what are the gestures, what are the non-verbal communication, and what is the motive behind, what type of the objective can be there. So you are paying attention to each and everything. That is known as whole person listening. Appreciative, that is when you listen to something to appreciate something. Appreciative listening is when you listen to something to appreciate something. For instance, you are listening to music. You are listening to certain, let's say, joke. You are listening to certain story. So the purpose is having an amusement and entertainment, और उसके साथ आप वो उस चीज़ को सुन रहे होते हैं and you want to appreciate that. That is known as appreciative listening. Attentive listening, when you pay attention and to each and everything and you listen to something very attentively. Again, I will be giving you the example of a lecture. For instance, you are attending a lecture in your classroom and you are paying attention to each and every word delivered by your teacher. That can be one example of attentive listening, and there can be many other also. Casual listening, listening not very attentive. आप कह सकते हैं कि it is an opposite to attentive listening. Casual listening is that you are sitting somewhere, you are listening to to someone, but you are not paying so much attention. जैसे आप कहिए कि आप किसी भी ऑर्डिनरी सी किसी सेरेमनी में बैठे हैं जहाँ एक लोग फॉर्मल सी स्पीचेस कर रहे हैं आके, and so you are there, you are listening to them, but you are not paying as much attention as you do in attentive listening. For instance, you are sitting in some ceremony, and if we compare this situation with a lecture room, और वहाँ जब आप lecture room में बैठे in your classroom, then obviously you are engaged in attentive listening because you are paying attention to each and every word delivered by your teacher. लेकिन अगर आप किसी से जगह बैठे हैं कि आप बिल्कुल ऐसे ही सुन रहे हैं बस ठीक है, तो that is casual listening. Evaluative listening, when you have a purpose of making some judgment, making some evaluation. For instance, आप एग्ज़ाम ले रहे हैं, ओरल एक्टिविटी है, एंड आपने किसी की फ्लुएंसी चेक करनी है, आपने किसी की एक्यूरेसी चेक करनी है ड्यूरिंग स्पीकिंग, या देयर कैन बी अनदर एग्जांपल इफ़ यू हैव टू मेक जजमेंट ऑन द स्पीचेस. आप किसी स्पीच कंपटीशन में बैठे हैं, यू आर सिटिंग देयर एज ए जज एंड यू हैव टू मेक एवेल्युएशंस अबाउट दोज स्पीचेस the students are delivering, तो वो evaluative उसमें आ जाता है. You have to be very critical. So this evaluative listening is known as a critical listening also, because आपकी सारी जो ये ऐसे है, ये ठीक है, ये किस तरह उसने deliver किया है, how was the accent, how was the pronunciation, what are the intonation patterns, जो आपके rise and fall हैं आवाज़ के, वो कैसे हैं. So you are paying attention to everything with the purpose of making an assessment and evaluation. So you have to be very critical over there. Critical and evaluative listening are the same, और वो उसमें आपने evaluation करनी होती है, आपने judgment करनी होती है. Comprehensive listening. Comprehensive, as is evident from the word, when you make comprehension, understanding. आप किसी बात को सुनते हैं and you have to understand it so completely. That is known as comprehensive listening. बहुत सारी जो है ना चीज़ें overlap भी करती हैं. For instance, आपकी attentive listening it is almost the same. आपकी whole person listening is almost the same. But comprehensive listening is when you have to comprehend something, you have to understand something, so you pay attention to everything. तभी आप समझेंगे ना. तो आप ये कह सकते हैं कि for comprehensive listening we must get engaged in attentive listening. अगर आप attentive ही नहीं हैं तो how you would be able to comprehend. So ये जो all types of listening है ये कहीं ना कहीं overlap भी होती हैं. These are interlinked also. Discriminative listening. Discriminative listening is, that is clear from the name, when you have to make discrimination or you have to discriminate something, that this is the type of the sound, this is the type of the sound. So simply आप जब focus कर रहे होते हैं कि कौन सी sounds हैं, how many persons are there, or even you think about the gender also कि कितने किस्म के कितने लोग बैठे हैं, कितनी आवाज़ें हैं, how many males are there, how many females are there, or even एनिमल साउंड्स भी इंक्लूडेड होती हैं. बाज़ दफ़ा कोई क्लिप होता है ना, ऐसी भी लिसनिंग में एक्टिविटीज़ होती हैं व्हेन यू पे अटेंशन ओनली टू डिस्क्रिमिनेट द साउंड्स के कौन बोल रहा है, कितने लोग हैं. देयर वाज अनदर साउंड माइट बी दैट ऑफ सम कैट्स साउंड या किसी इस तरह की आवाज़ को भी जब आप डिस्क्रिमिनेट कर रहे होते हैं तो दैट इज़ नोन एज discriminative listening. So these are certain types of listening जो कि हमारे mind में होनी चाहिए कि while talking about listening, और जब specially we are going to teach listening skill in the classroom, we have to pay attention of these different types also, क्योंकि whatever the activities you bring into the classroom and you tell your students to get engaged into these activities, तो वो उससे relate करेंगे कि आपकी type of listening आप किसको focus कर रहे हैं. जाहिर है कि if you are going for comprehensive listening or attentive listening, you are going to practice that one. तो आप सिर्फ वो एक्टिविटी नहीं ला सकते which is introduced for to develop discriminative listening. ठीक है. Discriminative listening के लिए तो इतना ही काफ़ी है कि they should hear a clip, they should listen to a clip, and they should be able to tell you how many persons are there, how many females are there, or which type of sounds or voices they can listen to.